Hey guys, just felt the need to film a little something. I'm back in my old familiar haunts for a while. Hard thing to explain quickly, but life shifts, and it certainly shifted for me, and it's a continuously shifting thing. I sense heavily that more and more people are awakening to the true nature of what reality is, and the invisible barriers and the silent struggles that many of us are enduring are starting to build more in our minds, and we're starting to see things for what they are. And it's a difficult proposition whenever you awaken and you notice that nothing around you can change or has changed. Usually it's because we're in our same familiar patterns, we're in our same structure that the powers that be have delegated us to, but our minds are awakening. We're noticing more, we're feeling more, our senses are heightened, our anxiety certainly is probably heightened, and the level of disconnect in the world has never been more pronounced. Like you feel it, you sense it, but it's never going to be an easy thing to verbalize or to relate to one another. And that's the struggle of life, is knowing that we are experiencing a containment of many things, a containment of our enlightenment, of our misery, and anything that resembles anything of value, anything that's substantial. It's hard to really connect and to make in anything that we can point to. But I think, like I say many times, and so I'll say it again, it's a spiritual phenomenon happening that's only really ever affecting a certain segment of people completely, to the point of action or to the point of calling it what it is. There's many tangible things that we can do that I've outlined before that will help to connect dots, but it all relates back to the fact that it is indeed a spiritual phenomenon. It's a matter of cultural engineering, stealing people's lives and futures and changing what things are while keeping them still going on the surface enough to resemble normal life. But I think it's about time that we start incorporating some things and always second guess what you're told, because the need to lie and the need to accept lies as the basis of truth in this reality has certainly harmed everything long term. It's just reduced the integrity of everything. It's become a soulless world where we have to reach to the light, and maybe we don't even get what we're aiming for, but we have to make that our goal, and we have to go about our goals differently because it's more convoluted. There's more steps to achieving anything that's good or getting the result that you want. It's always going to be extra steps, and that's just the nature of this life, is that you live it to prove a point. At least that's what I'm trying to do, and I'm trying to make it something more significant than what the powers that be ever wanted it to be. So hopefully that makes sense. But we have to go into every situation knowing how it could be manipulated to our detriment. We're going to have to try to use our foresight and use our intuition, which is no doubt challenged every day by people who are dead set on us not having a high intuition and not knowing what to do. That means that we're helpless and subservient, or so they hope. It's a very insidious structure of life that's never intended to do anything but harm, but keep it flowing enough to keep production going while they can. Although I certainly feel and know in my heart of hearts that everything over time is going to lessen. We're going to notice a decline in everything, rates and means of production. Um, there's going to be a supply demand problem in the world that's exacerbated by these tariffs. There's going to be so many weird phenomenons that happen. I imagine that Mother Earth is also getting angry too. I can imagine that the constant manipulation, even with the weather modification, things in our environment are going to add up poorly over the next several years. It's going to be a theme, and it's going to be very unpredictable, and there's going to be so little communication and so little comprehension. Comprehension is the big one. You can communicate anything you want to, but if it's not comprehended correctly or how it's intended, then it defeats its purpose. It's insult to injury constantly. But that's basically all I have to say for now, is that we are enduring an attack on our lives, and the world at large is, but never in such a way yet that we can call it what it is or do almost anything to combat it. I would love to see a counterculture form that can identify problems that the mainstream and the masses are not willing to accept, because it just simply isn't quite affecting them at that moment, and all of us are contained in our misery cycles. So hopefully things blend together and it's not a completely chaotic, terrible thing long term, like I kind of figure it will be, more or less. But the subdued catastrophe, I believe, is going to become more of an existential problem and a moral dilemma out loud for people, and it'll start to bleed over more. And we'll all know that the world is changing. This is a new earth that we are embarking on. Most people are just still going through their lives and motions as if it's normal, and that's self-defense mechanism of living through stress is appearing normal and hoping to feel normal or to feel equilibrium. But many of us who think and feel never truly will, until we connect and point out that it's illogical and it's baseless and it's bullshit. But anyway, love you guys. Peace.